Well, hello. Welcome back. If you're watching this, you've made it through the other one, and then you clicked on this one, or you fell asleep and this one played next. In which case, I hope you're having some good sleep. And oh, this is not even the right character. Sorry, this is my level 170 some odd character. Let me switch to the right one. The match. I'm a professional. Totally know exactly what's going on. All the time. All the time. There we go. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. I like the music. Okay, so we left off. I made that dude fall off. I got runes. I leveled up. I'm now level 37. So I'm gonna. Oh. I think this is a 0 rune pickup, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab it since I'm right here, just so it's not on my compass anymore. Because if you die with no runes, it still leaves a symbol, and it's worth no runes. I really don't know why they do that. Yeah, that was worth nothing. Okay, so we killed the dragon, got a lot of points, killed this dude, got a lot of points. Next, I'm gonna go unlock the ability to buy smithing stones 1 through 4. And I'm gonna level this sword up as much as I can, and then we're gonna start beating bosses and such. I don't know how many parts this will be, but since I'm more or less kind of like streamlining, I don't think it'll take very long, so I don't know. If you need to know what your potential time commitment is to watch this full series, the answer as of right now is I don't know. might be 4 parts, 5, 6, 20. Didn't it? Yeah. So we're gonna talk to her a bunch. She's like, "Hey, oh my gosh, I'm scared. My people were taken and they were grafted. Hey, or here's my emote." Oh man, I don't have your courage. I can't go do that. I don't want my stuff cut off. Oh, by the way, can you take care of this one? Here's the new ash. Sweet. Oh, and yeah, if I can get used to things, maybe I'll join you. More or less. Jellyfish is cool. Jellyfish is a little tanky. I don't know. The wolves are cool. I mean, they're all kind of cool. You play with the summons. They're all pretty fun. So here's gigantic sword. Look at that. I haven't even leveled it up yet. Of course, this was a sword from Kaled, and I'm level 38 now, so that kind of makes sense. That scarab gave me wild strikes. That's a fun Ash of War. Unfortunately, I can't put it on a colossal sword, which is what I'm using. But you can put it on a great axe. And it's pretty cool. In fact, if you put it on a great axe that has bleed, it's, man, they bleed pretty fast. It's pretty fun. That lady I just ran past is Two Finger Lady. She talks and says things just like you'd expect from an NPC. I honestly don't remember what she says or talks about. Maybe I should go talk to her. I don't know. Okay, cool. That's a new Ash of War, Storm Wall. I see a shield in the picture, so I'm guessing that's a shield, Ash of War. I can't get back up there. But usually they give you hints as to whether or not you can progress or what to do. They ask to read your fingers and then tell you stuff. I'll talk to the next one, maybe, if I see him, if I remember. But right now we are taking a path that actually bypasses this castle. So if you get to this fight and die a lot, which people do, because that dude's pretty tough, especially if you're not leveled up. You can just go around this castle and go explore somewhere else. You can go pretty much anywhere in the game except for this one section and beyond, which has multiple sections. To get to that, you have to kill 2 major bosses. But there are 4. I want to say 4. There's 4 major bosses before you get to that point. So you get to choose the 2 that you're good at fighting out of the 4, and after you beat them, you can ignore the other ones if you want and just head on to the end. This dude asks for a small donation, and he tells you about the Academy of Raya Lucaria and how to get in. You need a key, but he doesn't tell you where the key is. I don't know if it's because he doesn't know. He also sells some basic sorcery you may or may not have if you're a magic person. I'm not, so I'm not buying them. If I was keeping this character, I probably would buy them in case I ever wanted a respec for magic. Academy Scroll, if you give it to a person who does sorcery, not him, they can teach you new spells. But just like the prayer book, I said there was a better NPC to give the prayer books to. That same NPC can do sorcery, which is why they're awesome. Because there's a grace right next to them, you teleport, and then they can teach you incantations and sorcery. So I'm just gonna have to grab the shinies and just keep on going. I don't want to fight those dudes. I don't need to fight those dudes. Boop. All right. This merchant sells one of the best items in the world.
No matter why don't.
It's the lantern. I know you're probably expecting something cooler than that, but the lantern allows you to have light and still two-hand or use both your hands for your weapons or weapon, shield, or staff, whatever. Now these vendors, they show up on your map so you can remember where they are, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what they sell, and not all vendors are easy to get to or near Graces. So what I'm doing is I'm killing this dude, and it's gonna give me a bell. Like this. Nomadic Merchant Spellbearer number 5. And I can give that to the 2-headed merchant at the round table and then have access to everything that was in his store. So except for Kale at the beginning, I kill all the merchants for their bells so that I can do all my shopping at the round table. Because if you don't have enough money to buy everything you want from that vendor, then you would have to come back and find that vendor. And some stuff they sell is like infinite, like arrows. Like if you need more arrows or bolts for your crossbow, you would go back to that vendor multiple times to do that. So I just go to the round table. All right, so here's our map. This is Liurnia East. From here all the way up to there. Liurnia East. Let's see, which way do I want to do this? I guess I'll go this way. And it's open world, so you get to go wherever you want. Explore, fight, all that fun stuff. I'm just taking a pretty direct path there, more or less. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and touch this Grace. They're shooting a bunch of freaking homing skulls things. Ooh, I can level up my flask. Ow. Isn't it cool how they continue to float around even though I rested at the Grace? But up here should be some ruins. Did I accidentally go too far right? Yeah, I kind of did. Grab that. Grab that. Any ruins you find always have a staircase that leads down to something. I'm not gonna do the one that's here, but just remember that. So anytime you find ruins, other than the random stuff that's up top, always look for the stairs that go down, because there's gonna be a chest, a mini boss, or a mini boss and a chest. And that applies to all the ruins. Ruins. I don't know. Do you say it differently? I don't think so. Ruins, ruins. Yeah. So not ruins as in your money. Ruins as in broken structures. That map I just picked up, if I check my inventory, oops, shows me where to go to get the key. But I already know where to get the key. I would need to have this map right here to see it. In fact, let me go get that. Well, I'll actually go get that. This is the Academy, Raya Lucaria, the Magic Academy. So if you're a Magic user, this is a good place to go because inside there's a lot of spells and such. They are, of course, resistant to magic. So if you're a Magic user, I hope you are also decent with melee because they die pretty quick when you smack them. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight you dudes. There's also another golden seed over here, right here. And again, golden seeds are what give you the ability to upgrade the number of flasks you have. So like I have 5 reds and 1 blue. Once I get enough golden seeds to upgrade, I can have a total of 7 instead of 6. And it goes up to 14, in case you're curious. Oh, and if you help somebody, it only brings half. And if it's an odd number, it rounds down. So I recommend sticking with even numbers for the most part, if you can. So like my 5-1 would be bad because that means I would go into co-op with 2 and 0, and I'm wasting 2 flasks. But I'm not doing multiplayer, so it doesn't really matter. Unless you use the seamless co-op mod that I hinted at last, I was gonna say stream, but I guess last video. I don't know. That thing, you get all your stuff. All right, so this is the Dialos that was looking for his tomboy servant. There she is, she's dead, and he's like, I am gonna avenge you. If you don't talk to him here, and then talk to him again at the round table, like to progress the story, you could miss it. I think in the first video I said I really wasn't gonna do side quests. I will try to do like those NPC quests, like the main ones. Not necessarily all of them, but the ones that I have like memorized that I can just kind of do on the side, I will. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm gonna go here, and then here, and then this is where the key is. But like, all that information's on the wiki. If you want to see me do those missions, I can do another video of that, I guess. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. If this is being watched, and there's things you want to see me do, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna make this playthrough, and then I might do some like basic combat advice. I don't know. Everything I can think of doing, I'm sure there are already a ton of videos of other people doing it. So it's not like I'm reinventing the wheel necessarily. You're just getting the information in a slightly different way because of the way my brain works. So if you like, you know, sarcasm, dark humor, and lots of overthinking, I'm your person. For better or worse. Okay, so here's the grace for here. There's also a really cool axe in here that has it's an ice axe, or it does cold damage, and it has a pretty neat skill on it. It's in a chest over there. All right, you do not have to fight this dragon to get the key, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't even know if I'm strong enough to fight the dragon. Probably not. I haven't leveled up this weapon at all, so I'm just gonna say no, I am not strong enough. But if I open the map and teleport, I can get away from it quick enough because the battle hadn't officially started. If the battle had officially started, I wouldn't have been able to do that. All right, so now we have the key. So you walk up to the seal, hit Y or triangle or whatever key. I've never played with mouse and keyboard, so couldn't tell you, but the prompts change. Oh, speaking of which, if you're on PC and you're playing with mouse and keyboard, but all you can see are controller prompts or vice versa, you go into System, Sound and Display, there we go, and then Device for on-screen prompts, and you can change it between gamepad or keyboard and mouse. Because I think the first time I played or something, it was keyboard and mouse prompts, and I didn't know what to do. Unfortunately, PlayStation people's... Unfortunately, PC people with PlayStation controllers, I don't think it has a separate prompt, but there probably is a mod that changes it, because that's a pretty common mod to change the controller prompts to PlayStation. Or Nintendo Switch, or whatever controller you're using. Probably a mod for it. Alright, so I got another golden seed. I'm gonna go through this seal. So again, I'm going to get bell bearings that let me buy smithing stone 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 2 different ones. So this one I'm going for gives me bell bearing 1 and 2, and then the other one's 3 and 4. And I can get both of those pretty easily. Like 3 and 4, you don't even have to fight anything. You just run in, grab it, and leave. Okay, so here. She's like, can I read your fingers? I'm like, sure. Oh, all you can do is stand out of last without the half crescents that wish to be whole. You can't use the grand lift ahead. Or are you planning on going to the cave and using the coward's passage through the dim cavern? So, it's a little cryptic because I don't want to just tell you, but basically it's saying I need both halves of the Dectus medallion to use the giant lift. Or, if you went into this water and then went into this little cave and cleared it, you also pop out up in this area. So there's 2 different ways to get here. I always just get the medallion because it's not hard to get the medallion, and I need to go to those places anyway for other things. Whoa, I almost forgot where I was. All right, so there's a wind current down there, so normally this would kill me, but if I get the little wind on my horse like that, I don't die. So I'm gonna put a little horse thing there. I'm going into this cave for this one, the first stone. There is a boss to fight at the end, but it's not that bad as far as bosses go. Like, even if I didn't level up to, 38 or whatever, I would still be fine. In the mines, there's always a path to the side. And usually that path has bonus materials or smithing stones. So, I went ahead and lowered the elevator, but just remember, it's always on the left-hand side and it spirals down. Just, don't fall from too high up or you die. Oh, and I don't know if I explained these, but these are summoning pools, which basically means any of these that you've activated, if you went to multiplayer, which I can't because I turned that off, and hit the effigy, you can put your summoning sign at every single one of these you touched for potential summoning, and then you can help people out. So if you see one of those in an area that you hate and would like to never go to again, I wouldn't touch that thing. Not that you can't like leave if it's an area you hate, but you know, that kind of is bad for the person summoning because they're like, yay, a friend to help me. Oh, never mind, they left. So if you don't want to be summoned from those places, then just don't touch those little Y statues in that area. I call them Y statues. I have a lot of fun names for things in this game to help my dad recognize what they are. He's in his 70s and has a little bit of memory issues. So I have to explain a lot. So I'm like, okay, use your pocket watch, you know, to summon. All right, touch the Y statue. So, not that I don't do that anyway. I like to come up with like just basic descriptors for things. Okay, so I don't need any of that. The people that are mining, as long as you don't take their stuff or hit them, they just keep mining. And I don't really need their stuff, so I'm just gonna go over here. Ow, a lot. So magic hurts a lot if you don't put points into intelligence or incantations. Because I think that's how you boost your defense. And these dudes are made out of rock. If you have a strike weapon, that's best to use against them. This colossal sword just does standard damage or pierce if I do that attack. Neither of which are strike. But it gets the job done. And I haven't leveled up this sword at all, so I'm not like sad about my numbers or anything. Like, it gets the job done. And what we're, you know, hunting is gonna help me level up my sword. So I roll off the side. See, this one's got an actual passageway that leads to stuff. Somber stone, cracked crystal, a view. Oh, you know what? Remember I'm squirrel brain, scatterbrain. I had mentioned how you can tell if it's safe to drop, like whether or not you'll die. If you craft rainbow stones or find rainbow stones and use them at the edge, if it explodes like that, it means you die. But if it lands, it means that you should survive the fall. Whether or not you take a little damage, like you'll survive it. I have had it land, and then I hopped off, and I couldn't land in the same place and died. So it's not perfect. But in general, it's reliable. You can also use those to, you know, Hansel and Gretel your way through a level if it's really confusing. You can be like, all right, I don't need to go that way anymore because I've already been here. So I'll make sure. So if I get turned around and I come over here and I see this stone, I know I've been there. When you die, they all disappear though. So it doesn't stay there forever. If you don't die, it does stay there, but if you die, it goes away. Oh, does that guy see me? No, not yet. This elevator goes up to the first section. It's a shortcut, so I'm gonna activate it and then keep on going. I'm not even gonna fight these dudes. It's not worth it. I'm just grabbing all the shinies, making my way to the boss. Oops. Those dudes that I ignored are right there. So let's just see if I can outrun all this stuff without dying. Oh yeah, that's fine. This is totally fine. I got some arrows sticking out of my body, but okay. Now I need to see if any of them are following me. Yep, at least one of them is. Wait, what? I use like fire potions. Alright, again, I'm just looking for shinies. So these are smithing stones. I'm gonna grab those. I don't care about what that dude's doing. There's a bunch of smithing stones here, so I go, wah! Run through there. That makes them mad. So now there's gonna be a bunch of people following me. I might die here, because sometimes they block this doorway. Okay, they didn't. And then I'm just gonna keep going. And they will follow me to this elevator. And usually they're dumb and will jump off the elevator and die. So I might get some free runes if they decide to do that. And if as long as you run, you will make these. You can also roll or jump. I just run and let it happen. All right, I think I'm gonna go with the puppers on this one. So get my wolves ready. You can pretty much always summon in boss fights like this. These crystal things basically act like you don't exist until you break their stance. So you have to be careful because whatever attack they're gonna do is gonna hit you until you break their stance. So backstabs are pretty effective because that would actually interrupt them. So if I get behind, but it only does 25 damage because they're not broken. Once they're broken though, they take damage just like a regular enemy and then it's super easy. So right there, that's broken. Now I can just beat them up like I would a normal enemy. There are fights later on where you have to fight multiples of these, 2 or 3. It's the same thing. And there's my miner's bell. So we have miner bell 1. The next one, as I said earlier, doesn't require fighting. So I'm not gonna go upgrade my weapon quite yet. Instead, I'm just gonna... Oh, actually, you know what? There's a knight right here that drops an Ash of War that I like for my weapon. So I actually am gonna upgrade. So here's my bell bearings, one from the merchant I killed and one from the miner's bell. So here's the merchant store, and it keeps track of what you bought. So it like knows I already bought that lantern. Okay, so to fully upgrade a weapon with the numbered stone, regular weapons, you need 12 of each one. So 12 number 1s gets me to 2. And then 12 number 2s gets me to 3, and so on and so forth. I think it goes up to like 6. And then the weapon can go up to plus 24, and then plus 25 with a special rare stone that you can't buy infinite of. So this is the lady that we met that gave us the jellyfish ashes. She will teleport to the round table if you go around the castle like I did, or if you clear the castle or make it into the castle. There's a lot of different reasons why she'd be here. Golden ruins, you just sell these or use them. Selling's quicker, you get the same amount. In the older games, that wasn't true. If you sold them, you got less than if you used them. But in this game, it's the same amount, so I just sell them. Cool. So I got my weapon up to +8. And then he told me that she's a spirit tuner. So now I'm gonna go back and be like, hey, the blacksmith said you're a spirit tuner. And she's like, I don't believe you, but I guess I should try. I'll ask him to teach me. He seems like a nice dude. Is basically what she said. And so then I'm gonna ask him, hey, can you take care of her? She wants to learn. He's like, she'd never agree to it. And I'm like, yeah, she will. She wants it. He's like, oh, okay. And that's what they're doing. Ash of War. I guess I'll do Bloodhound Step. That's what I got from the knight that I made jump off the cliff. It is a very good movement. Ash of War. This is actually the skill I was talking about if you wanted to be heavy and rely on it. When you pull left trigger, you do like a teleport dash. But when you run out of blue, you can't do that anymore. Which is why I just like to stay on medium. Oops. The whole reason I did this was so I could fight this knight for the skill that you have, and I have to make it nighttime, so. Let's do that. Cool, more flasks. I'm at +8, so I don't think this will be too crazy, but I don't know. Like, I think you're supposed to be like 50+ for this area. I've beaten the whole game at level 50. I could probably do lower, but I haven't tried yet. I don't know if I'll ever be able to beat it at level 1, like a lot of people do, but maybe. I don't know. I get hit, I make mistakes, I die, so it's harder for me. Yeah, no, he's dying. He's dying pretty good. This is pretty good damage. Why are you, like, stuttering, dude? Ow! Is it because I'm recording instead of streaming? It uses more resources? Like, I don't... Oh, well, you know what? They did come out with a new patch today. The PvP arena. So I wonder if that messes something up. Almost got his horse. Once the horse is down, I should be able to finish him off. But even if he gets another horse before I finish him off, this will take out most of his health. No! You're so close to dying! Oh, I missed. And I missed again. Seriously? There. I was like, what? What is this? Giant hunt, and I got his weapon. So, and that's a really cool halberd. I like it. It's got good reach. It's got a different move set than most halberds. So if you want that halberd, I've actually like leveled up just enough to come here, kill him for the halberd, and then go back to the beginning of the game, just like I did with this big sword. On your first playthrough, you won't know really what you like or what's out there, unless you've, you know, done a lot of research or watched YouTubes where they tell you which weapons are OP, which is apparently a lot of them, according to the videos I see. I'm gonna leave that 6-1. Churches always have sacred tears, by the way. This is a church. Sacred tears are what make it so your flasks are more potent. They restore more when you drink them. So if you have to drink like 6 potions to fill up your life bar, it means you need more tears. Go find some churches. Not chicken. Ba-dum-bum. Psh. Wait. Does that button work, or is that button? I bet you that button doesn't work. Nope. I have a ba-dum-bum button, but I recently made some changes and broke a bunch of stuff, so I gotta fix that. Sorry, dude. Your store is inconvenient. That is the only reason I am killing you. I would hate to be a video game character. Oh, I missed. Or I hit his little tent. Oh, I don't know if I stayed long enough for it to officially say you got the bell. Oops. I did. Okay. Sometimes if you teleport before you get the reward or runes, like, it messes up and you don't get it and you have to go back or something. Like, I shouldn't have teleported so quickly. By the way, the method I used to teleport so quickly, if you open up the map and then hit Y, it'll lock on to the last grace you touched, and then A to travel to it. That's a shortcut. Or if you want to go to the round table, map, Y, and then at the bottom of the screen it says X, go to round table, and then A. So I'll tell my dad, let's go to the round table, and I'll be like, map, YXA, or XA, or whatever. Hey, what is it? I don't know. It makes more sense when I'm doing it. Oh, I do need the other half of the medallion, like the finger lady told us. I forgot I didn't go to that fort. I usually go to that fort before I do all this. I don't know why I did. I guess because I'm recording a YouTube video and don't know what I'm doing. But there's a grace here, so I get the medallion and then I just teleport back. No big deal. So that is down this way. So we're gonna teleport over here. These smaller trees, bird trees, will pretty much always have a tree mini boss to fight that will drop something for you. This is the only one that doesn't have, well, as far as I remember, this is the only one that doesn't have a boss underneath it, but there is items there to get. In fact, they're mixed wondrous physic ingredients or whatever, that single use per spawn potion I showed you last time. So here it is. It's gonna give me spike crack tier, green spill crystal. Anything with tier in its name means it's for the physic. So if you pick up something with tier in the name, check your physic. New Ash of War. That is an NPC howling. If you have good audio, you can tell where it's coming from. That dude up there. His name's Blood. And I will show you how to talk to them. I can't do it right now though, because I have to go talk to somebody else to do that. There's chest, smithing stone 2. There's gonna be a giant sleeping bear here. These bears suck. You don't want to fight these bears most of the time. Or you want to cheese them. Like this one, if I wanted to, I could sit here and be like, poke, and fight him. But I should be able to just ride past. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. I don't have any more talisman slots. Bye. Where's my road left? This message right here, I think it says like open for business or something. Let's see. Yep, open for business, dot, dot, dot. Letting you know there's a vendor.
Welcome.
Same routine, I talk to him, buy what I can / want. And then I kill them so that I can buy their other things later at the round table. And depending on the area you're in is what dictates their difficulty. So that one died super quick because this is like the beginning of the game area. But then if I kill one in Kaled, it's a bit longer. Unless, of course, me and my weapon are upgraded. For the grace. Yeah, game's really generous with these grace checkpoints. The older games, they were bonfires and they were not as frequent. Which is what I was talking about. My frustrations with the older games. Because I don't mind dying like 600 times to a boss until I learn how to fight the boss. But when you have to spend like a long time getting back to the boss to die in the amount of time or less it took you to get there, that I can only do so many times. I don't remember if I explained that last time or not. So if I did, sorry for repeating. If I didn't, there you go. That's my issue with the older Soulsborne games. Oh, I didn't know you all were following me. And because I have a giant weapon, it makes these dudes stagger. If you don't have a big weapon, these dudes do not typically stagger. So you have to pay attention to what they're doing. But I have a big ass, whoop, that's cursing. Sorry, I have a big sword. So it doesn't really matter. I said I was gonna try to not curse. But again, this is a mature rated game, so stuff happens. I was just talking about the alternative way to describe a donkey. Or is it a mule? Or are they the same? But different? I don't know. That's what Google's for. Quick book. I see you throwing stuff at me. So now I have both halves of the Dectus medallion. Oh, I didn't grab the map on my way. Oh well, I can get it later. It's not important to get right now. So, go back up here. Get onto the giant lift into the circle, hoist the medallion. This cutscene isn't really much. It just like shows it going up and then it fades to black. And then it shows it going up again. So I'm gonna skip this. You're not missing much. If you were really looking forward to seeing the lift go up for a few seconds 2 times in a row, there's probably a YouTube video for that. Or if you own the game, you'll see it. Alrighty. So those guys won't shoot at me as long as I'm over here. But they will attack you if you get close. They're not just decoration. I don't remember what this knight drops. I don't know if this knight's worth killing. I remember this knight's a little annoying because those guys eventually walk up here. And so while you're fighting the knight, you have to fight them too. So it's better to just, you know, go kill them right now or wait for them to walk past. I'm curious what this knight drops, so we'll kill it real quick if I can. Ow! So his hits take off about half my health right now. Cool, 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 cool. Dude, I was trying to kill these peons before we fought. Rude. Okay, so. Oh my goodness. This might have been a bad idea. Okay, I think I'm pretty good now. Those guys are still coming, but they're cautious. Yeah, I should be able to get this guy as long as they don't distract me. Hey, can you just die? Damn it! Not me, you. Oh, they don't do friendly fire. Sometimes if they hit each other, they do friendly fire, but apparently not these guys. Okay, so now it's just one. I'll say I'm gonna take that hit because the horse doesn't do too much damage. Ow! But it does add up. Ow, jerk. Congratulations, you got me. Now, frickin' die. Whoa! Oh, by killing all those people, I got some more potions back because they're a group. If you kill groups of enemies in the world, you get your flasks refilled, which I don't think I mentioned. It tells you that at like the beginning of the game, or it tells it to you the first time you ever do it. So that was actually kind of nice. Of course, then I, you know, made some mistakes and instantly had to use both of them. All right, his horse is about to go down. I'm just gonna do a fully charged right trigger combo and see if... Okay, I have no more heals, so I should be like semi-careful. I do still have my Wondrous Physic, which right now I think all it has on it is heal half my life, so technically that's like an emergency. Shared order. I don't remember what that does. Grants affinities and skills to armament. Holy Essence. Ah, so it's an area of effect holy boost. If your weapon can accept it, because a lot of the special weapons won't accept those kinds of boosts, or if your weapon already has a built-in boost, like if you have a sword that has holy on it, you can't put bleed on it or poison on it. Which is why the bleed weapons are so cool. The bleed weapons, the ones that come with bleed damage built in without you having to specifically say, I want this to be a bleed weapon, can have multiple things on them. So like bleed plus poison's real popular. Or if you put bleed on bleed, it just makes bleed happen quicker. Bonus question, how many times did I say bleed? Answer, I don't know. I didn't count, but it felt like a lot. So, if you rewound the video to find the answer, I'm sorry, I don't have a prize. See, this guy's gonna be a little harder to kill because we're in Altus, so let's see.
Please stop this. It's all my
Because he's not even red yet. There we go. Now he's red, which means he'll fight back. And these guys hit pretty hard. If you don't do a fully charged right trigger to make them slump over and then do your critical hit, they actually will surprise you and kill you pretty good. And that guy has a creepy laugh after he died. So that's not suspicious at all. So I went that way to get a golden seed, the map, and then I went ahead and unlocked this grace in case I want to go here, because there's that teleporter you saw teleports me to this other side of the bridge. But that's all optional. So I don't know if I'll go that way or not. I don't think so. I think this playthrough is just going to be me getting from point A to point B, B being the end of the game. And then maybe I'll do videos like per continent. I'll say Limgrave, and then I'll like clear all the things in Limgrave, and then Liurnia, and that would probably be a 2 or 3 part video. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. And that way I will have videos of all the things for you to either watch or ignore. Good plan, great plan. Double tree sentinels. I'm gonna ignore them because there's a grace right here. They can almost make it to this grace, but not quite. See, look. Oh, they turned around a lot quicker than they used to. They used to get to like right up close to this grace and then turn around. So I got a bunch of golden seeds. So let's level up the flask. I can do it twice. So now what do I have? 8 and 1. Yeah, that's fine since I'm strength. The quote-unquote strongest strength weapon or biggest strength scaling weapon, I don't know. The gigantic hammer, which is just a really big piece of stone on a stick, is over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. I don't know if I'm gonna use it though. The sword I'm using right now I really enjoy, and it's got good reach and it's much lighter and doesn't require me to have as much strength to use it. But the giant crusher, which I can't use right now anyway, is that. So if you want big hammer go bonk, there it is. You don't have to kill anything to get it. Like this thing right here, I don't need to fight. In fact, I'm just gonna teleport to the grace because it doesn't see me. And I can still open my map. Alrighty then. Grab the random things while I ride by my horse. That's another reason why I like to do this run. Not only am I getting smithing stones to get my weapon up to like plus 12 right off the bat, but I've gathered a lot of golden seeds and tears to make my flasks more useful. And so that's another advantage of this path. A lot of the sacred tears are in the Weeping Peninsula, which is the southern continent south of Limgrave. I don't really have a reason to go there, so I probably won't on this playthrough, unless I'm getting my butt kicked and using too many potions. If I need more tears, I'll go down there, because there's like 3 or 4 churches over there. Hidden wall. Hidden walls you can hit or roll into. I just roll into them. And here's the thing I said you need. Grab it, and then now I can leave. I don't even need to fight anybody. I could bloodhound step all the way home. It's slightly quicker than running. not by much, and it uses all your blue, but I'm gonna teleport and get all that back anyway, so doesn't really matter. Cool. There's some more seeds up here I want to grab. And then I will go back to the beginning and fight bosses. And do some NPC quests. All right, here we go. 2 more golden seeds. Thank you much. At the very top of this staircase, there's a Ash of War duplication item, which is nice. That thingy, I think, is an Ash of War. If it's got like a white glow around it, that means if you get too close to it, it runs away. So those you want to either throw a heavy knife at or shoot with a bow and arrow. Because if you hit them and they don't die in one hit, they usually get away. There we go. So I got my Lost Ashes of War. There's nothing else up here that I know of. There might be. I'd have to check the wiki or something. Like on my main character, I kind of like went through the map and made sure I had all the stuff, but now it's like I get what I use or what I see. This turns into Margit, which is the boss from the beginning game. The one that a lot of people have problems with, the first main boss. If I beat him, he gives me a endurance talisman, but I am not gonna use, so that's why I ran past him. All right, cool. So now go back to the round table, buy 12 smithing stone 3 and 4s. Also talk to Dialos because he's gonna tell me about stuff. He's like, oh, the people that killed her, they want to recruit me. I'm gonna like go see what's up with them and like infiltrate their stuff. So he's gonna go to the recusant's base, which is in Volcano Manor, which is a optional area that I probably won't go into on this playthrough. Whoops, I didn't. Okay. All right, so I already got 4. 4 plus 8. Boom. Ooh. I need more money. Let me see what I can sell. I don't know if I have any more golden runes to sell him.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Nah, I got a couple, but yeah, no. All right, well, I'll still go to the castle, kill some stuff, and then when I get more runes, I'll come back here. If you actually explore and clear all the caves and stuff, you will just, you'll just naturally gather runes, unless, of course, you die multiple times and keep losing them. Which happens. Because I've been riding past everybody. If I would have killed everybody I saw, I'd probably have more runes, but the return on investment isn't great. Meaning the time invested to kill all those things to get ruins and items isn't worth my time. Oh, let me look at my wondrous physics since I got more cracked tears. Whoops, that's memorize spells. That's if you do magic stuff. Enhanced charge attacks, boost stamina. I'm gonna boost stamina and then keep this half heal as like an emergency heal. Gold summon sign. This is so you can summon people. If you're not in online mode, then that means this is an NPC. if you are in online mode, they're typically across from this thing. So he's gonna help us. I'm also gonna summon my jellyfish to do the poisoning. Cutscene, which I have to remember to not skip.
In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
All right, so this is the first boss hurdle where you will die a lot. And that's fine. I thought I waited to dodge, but I guess not. I have big weapons, so I can break his stance pretty easily. Ow. I should probably use that Wondrous Physic so I get the strength boost, because I also need a little bit of health, so that'll work. With big weapons, jump attack is kind of one of your best attacks, because it's fast and easy to recover from. Oh, I rolled, but whatever. Nice, Rogier. I'm not gonna backstab him this time. I'm just gonna hit him twice with charged right triggers. Oh man, almost. I keep forgetting I have Bloodhound Step. I haven't used Bloodhound Step in a while because I wanted to learn how to play the game without relying on Bloodhound Step, because it is pretty addictive to use in boss battles when you have it, because you can dodge almost anything with it instead of learning the proper timing for rolling. So yeah. So defeating him, got some ruins, got a new talisman pouch, so now I can equip up to 2, so I'll put this on. I'm still medium load in the bottom left. If I put on my helmet, I'll be heavy, so I still can't use my helmet. I am going to change my Ash of War to Giant Hunt, which is what I got from that one night. I just forgot to do it earlier. Quality. I actually want heavy, but I don't have that yet. Okay, so strengthen. Cool. So now my level is 10. She levels up spirit runes now. He taught her. She moves over here. Now she knows how to do it. So I can go into spirit tuning, and if I have the stuff, I can upgrade them. Also, her little red hoodie cape is now obtainable in the castle, and I will show you where that is when I play through the castle. I can only buy 3 of these, so I'll buy what I can. I feel like there was something else I was gonna do. I don't know. I don't know why. This is Giant Hunt, by the way. Bang! Does a lot of damage. It also makes them fly up into the air, usually, which is funny. Or amusing. At the very least. If it's not funny or amusing to you, you might need, you know, something. I'm not a professional, so I'm not gonna say recommendations past that.
God, you breach the... Your type.
Plus, I don't even know how old you are.
The God, you'll slip.
Very well.
Yeah, your job.
If I tell them no, I'll use the main gate. I can walk over to the main gate and it opens. But then a whole lot of stuff happens. So I'll go through the side. This is the path that most people take. So I got a shiny there. Up here, instead of jumping down, you climb up here and there's a shiny. Smithing stone. Now drop down over here. There's a grace. If you go down and to the right, there is another like smithing stone 3 back there, but there's also a bunch of these stupid birds that have swords on their feet. And they are one of the most annoying enemies in this game, depending on what kind of weapon you have. So I usually just bypass it. Especially since I just gave myself the ability to buy smithing stone 3s. I'm gonna take a little bit of damage here. Oh. Oh. What the heck? Hold on. I got like stuck? That was weird. He actually almost got me. Don't stay here too long. That guy throws fire bombs. Kill these 2 dudes. So now that I'm in the castle, there is no replenishing of my flasks for killing groups of enemies. The only way to get more flasks now is to rest at a grace, and if I rest at a grace, everything respawns. Hook claws, those are pretty fun. They do bleed damage. They're fast if you want to be like Wolverine. If you 2-hand them, you get 1 on each hand. Downside is you have to be really close to hit your enemy, and some of these dragons and bosses are big and hard to reach. So it can make it difficult. But not impossible. You can beat the entire game using those claws. If you desire. By the way, those red barrels are bad. They explode when fire's thrown at them, so you wait until the dude throws things and then you run past. That hole you saw me jump on, if I went out to the ledge, there's like 3 bad guys to hit, and then you can drop down here. But there's no actual items over there. So I just grabbed the one that's on the entrance and then do what I did. All right, time for Jerk to do jerk things. You hear that laugh? That's the guy that told us to take the side path. He locked us in this room with this giant knight, which I made look easy because but it's kind of a pain in the butt if you don't have a big weapon and you're not used to their moveset. I'm probably making a lot of things look easy, but again, I have like 1,100 hours in this game. I promise. There was lots of death on my first playthrough, and there's still lots of death. Just not as much as there used to be. Okay, so I got all the shinies for this area. So there's the key I need to open this. If I had tried to open that earlier, it'd be like, it's locked. And I'm gonna, even though I said I was kind of taking a straight path to beating the game, I am gonna go through the full area if I'm in that area. So I'll show you where all the little paths are in the castle. Because if I would have gone left at the top of that ladder, I would have missed all this stuff. Oh, I missed. So this is a pretty fun strength weapon. It's a small version of what we had earlier. But if you like strength weapons, this one's actually pretty fun. It's considered a great hammer. Anything with great in its name is big, and then colossal is the biggest. So right now I'm using a colossal sword, and then that giant hammer is just a colossal weapon. That guy tries to grab you. By the way, that purple item that you probably saw on the right side of the screen, it's an arteria leaf, which I don't even know what those are used for, but if you wanted to get it, you drop down right here, and then it's around the corner, but I don't even remember what arteria leaves do, so that tells you how valuable they are. They're basically troll items, I think, because purple usually means ooh, rare. So you like try to figure out how to get there, and then it's an arteria leaf, and you're like, dang. I'd play this sad trumpet sound right now if my buttons were working. Okay, so we have a grace. A lot of different ways to go. I'm gonna go up first. So I come back here. I'm gonna go grab this shiny. These greases, by the way, let you add different elemental damages to certain weapons as long as that weapon can accept that kind of stuff. I don't really use consumables because if you run out of them, you may not know what to do. Like if you use a consumable that lets you kill a boss in 2 hits, but then you get to that boss again and you don't have that consumable, you may not know what to do. I'd rather just kill everything with basic built-in stats, because that's not really gonna change. I saw you throw that fire at me. I know it was you. Okay, they didn't drop anything. Shiny. Where'd you come from? Stop kicking me. You can take these little sandbags up to this ledge, and you can either jump that way and do a bunch of things, or if you go this way, there's an item here. Stone sword key, awesome. I hate these birds. This is the bird I was talking about, except the black ones can also breathe fire. So I'm gonna see if I can, well, I still killed it without it hitting me, but I was trying to see if I could kill it in 1 hit. Apparently I'm not strong enough. And I got a gesture. If you went left, there's not really anything up there. What is on the left-hand side, you can get to from down here, which is what I'm doing right now. If you follow this edge around and then go over here, this is a smithing stone 2. Yeah. So going right, you can get both items. Going left, you would have missed the item that the stone sword key that I got. Then if we go up here, there's a cool talisman that increases the damage your jump attacks do, which is pretty handy for any melee class, but especially handy for strength build, because it's like a percentage increase. And so the bigger your numbers are, the bigger the percentage increase will be. Or, I mean, sorry, well, the more it will aid you, because if you have 1,000 damage and it does 10% boost, then you have 1,100 damage. Instead of a weapon with 100 damage getting 10, which is 100, like it's not worth it. Like, not saying it's not worth it. I don't even know if it's 10%. It might be like 30%. I don't know. I'd have to Google it. Does it say? No, it just says it increases it. I really don't know by how much. I have scienced it in the past. By the way, if I haven't used that word before, science is me testing out theories in a game or whatever, and then I make it into a verb and say scienced, or I'm gonna science this, or I scienced that. So we use that terminology a lot on my stream. Anyway, but I could do a jumping attack with the talisman and then a jumping attack without the talisman on the same enemy. So like these guys, 507, 441. So it's like a 60 damage increase, and that's just at my current level. The more I level up, the more that boost will be. So very, very handy on the strength build. Or even probably a quality build. Which, if you don't know what a quality build is, it just means that you're basically leveling up your strength and dexterity equally so that you can use a wide range of weapons. And you're getting boosts from both strength and dexterity. These guys, they're pretty hard to kill. If you don't have a big weapon to stagger them like I do, they're kind of a pain. It's another reason I like my big weapons. I can stagger almost any regular enemy, and then bosses I can stagger quicker if it is possible to stagger them. So that's the main gate. If I would have told him no, I'll use the main gate, I would have walked in here and then all these people with ballistas would have shot at me, which you can dodge and like run up here and get past, but it's not, you don't really need to. I mean, it's up to you. Like, do you want to run in, weapons drawn, ready to kill a bunch of people that are shooting at you? Then go through the main gate. Otherwise, if you want to do what I just did, you go this side. Because this way, I'm doing ow, ow. I'm not doing ow, ow. I'm doing both. He just interrupted my sentence. And you're like, yeah, I know, you're kind of stating the obvious. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. It's observational humor. Maybe. No. I don't know if that is. Doesn't matter. Anyway. So I can go over here, and now I can manually open the main gate. And then I'm gonna touch this grace, but I'm not gonna rest at it because I don't want all those people on the turrets or ballistas or whatever they're called to come back. Otherwise, when I step out of here, I'll get shot. But we're gonna hop down here. This is the dude that locked us in. Like, I know it was you. If you kill him before you go up there, you won't get locked in, but I recommend not killing him because he has good items for sale. Like, this is like the best pairing shield in the game, which I think the bandit starts with. But if you do certain NPC quest lines, he later on will sell you the final smithing stone you need to upgrade regular weapons, and there's only a finite amount of those.
Very well.
So, but if you don't want to get locked in that room, then you can kill that dude, and it won't happen. Also, anytime you die in the castle, he steals some of your ruins, which a lot of people don't notice. Because, like, normally, if I die with 500 runes on me, I go back, I touch my runes, I get 500 back. But when you die in the castle, they don't all come back. And you find out it's because he's stealing them. And I don't know if you kill him, if you get them all back. I don't know. I'd have to do some, like, some Google, some research. But if you notice you're not getting all of your runes back as you do this castle, that's why. that dude's taking them. I'm gonna do that, and then that. Oh, another dude right there. Where do y'all? Oh, were y'all trying to get to them from there? Good job. Giant death kitty over here. This thing hurts a lot, but if you kill it, it does not come back. So, ow. So I'll go ahead and kill it. I'm just gonna do some guard parries. Dang it. Dang it, dogs! Wolves! I lost my opportunity to stab him in the face. That's alright. They're helping me out. They didn't know what they did. So this weapon, just like I showed you last time, the guard stats for a shield, it tells you how much you'll guard if you two-hand a weapon and use it to guard. So this guard's 84% physical. So anytime he hits me, I'm taking 16% of the normal damage. But again, you don't have to math. Just be aware that's what's happening. The higher those numbers, the less damage you take. The better your guards are. Also, I'm not really great at math. I'm really good at basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division stuff, but I don't know like advanced stuff. So, in case you're wondering, I just math in my head. It's a thing that I'm able to do. There's more arrow turret people here, so I'm gonna go up here and ow. See if I can not get shot. Yeah! Oof. Oh no! I got shot. So now I'm gonna roll like crazy and try not to get shot again. Heal. And then just keep on going. Dodge. When they do that wind attack, there's always 2 wind tunnels. So there is a crossbow up there where I was trying to go. But it's not, I don't even know how good of a crossbow it is. I don't really use bow and arrows or crossbows that much, except for to get the attention of an enemy so that it will come close enough for me to smack it. But you can, if you have enough arrows, you can cheese certain enemies by shooting at them from really far away with a bow or crossbow. Nothing wrong with that. Dead is dead. However you did it, shouldn't matter. In my opinion. So where I am now, this actually links up with the side path now that we were on earlier. And I will show you that. That pike right there, it's like the longest melee weapon in the game. If you like spears, you can use that with the shield and just poke people while you're guarding at the same time. Okay, so I think that's most everybody. So this is where you would come from the side. And I'm actually gonna go in there because there's some items. But it'll probably be confusing watching me go in all these places because you're like, where are you? Where did you go? How do you know where this is? Like, I've been in here a bunch of times. But I guess when I do those like breakdown sections, I'll do better about explaining what's going on. Yeah, that's what I could do. I'll do Limgrave as one. And then Stormvale Castle will be a separate one. Yeah, that'll work. This had a fog wall we passed by earlier. This is where we were earlier with all the front gate people and stuff. So you don't need to go through there if you took the path that I took. I think I mentioned last video I talk a lot because I don't like silence. And since I'm not live streaming, people aren't randomly talking to me to distract me from the fact that there's a lot of silence, because then I'm talking to them and having a conversation. But if you're watching this, I think you know that, and you wouldn't have clicked on part 2. Unless you're muting me and just reading captions. Which, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. However you want to consume your content, I don't judge. When I watch streams and videos, I lurk. I just watch, take it in. I don't necessarily chat or use interactive fancy buttons. If it's YouTube and the video was helpful, I'll do the thumbs up, and if they have multiple videos that are helpful, I'll do the other thing. What is it? Is it called subscribe on here? I think it's follow on Twitch. Subscribe sounds like you're giving money, because that's what it is on Twitch. But I think it's subscribe on YouTube. I don't know. You probably know what it is. If you're here, you probably YouTube more than I. Maybe. I don't know. I've been doing that there YouTubes since it first came out, but I'm not on it a lot. I go on there, I find my things, and then I go back to whatever it is I was doing. Like, how do I fix my washer? Find a video, follow the video, close YouTube. Where is this item? Watch the video, get the item, close YouTube. Is there anything else? Yes, I need to go back because there was a bunch of stuff that I missed. I told you I'd go back to. All right, so that was the up path. So next, we're gonna take the bird path. I don't know. This is the path that probably most people take. It feels linear. So here's this dumb birds with the swords attached to their feet that are annoying, and they drop explosive barrels at you. I missed. Didn't miss that time. Depending on what weapon you have and whether or not you have magic, these things may be annoying, or you may not even realize people find these things annoying. It depends on what weapon you're using. Like me with this really long sword, it's not horrible. I just need to hit them once and they die. All right, so secret stuff. You carefully walk off this edge. Oof, man, I thought that was too much. Any of the edge, really. This goes all the way around. Then you drop down on this ledge. And you drop down on this ledge. Grab the shiny. Roll down. Roll down. There's nothing else up here. So then you go over here and you're like, oh, this is solid ground, right? Nope, it's not. Oh my god. Smack. Oh, I missed it. That height would normally kill you, but this is designed for it to not kill you, so it's fine to step off there. If you're in co-op and they step off and it's broken and it's not there at all for you, you can still step off and you won't die. The game knows that that's the path you have to take, so. This guy is pretty hard to kill. Actually one of the hardest enemies ever if you're not good at learning enemy attack patterns or dodging, because they pretty much don't stagger, and so they will hit you constantly while you're trying to do other things. Did they patch you? Did you get smarter? I usually just make him walk into this elevator hole and he dies. There we go. But that was better AI pathing than it normally is. Huh. But it still worked, so it's fine. That's how I fight that guy. I'll legitimately fight some of those guys later on. And can show you the things. Maybe I'll do an Everjail series. I thought it was like Never Goal or something because it's spelled G-A-O-L, but apparently it's pronounced jail, which makes sense because there's dudes stuck inside But these things right here, these are ever jails. So if I go here, there's a dude inside. If I go... Wait, what? Huh. Usually they're blue, but if I go here, there's a dude inside. Trying to remember where another one is. Oh, there's one down here, but I haven't been there. So those are spread out. But yeah, I could do all the upper jails in one, maybe. I don't know. Hey, yeah, missed. I suck. Ugh. There we go. Smithing stone 2 back there. All right, so if you go over here, you can either drop down here and you won't die, or you can go over there and go down the ladder, and there's some dudes, so watch out. You can't drop down this side, it's death. But you can take note that that's a thing, because there's shinies over there, and I will show you how to get down there. But this is the way I go. If you drop down over here, you get an item, and then if you drop through the window, you get into the same place as that main hole, except you don't take damage. I think if you jump through that main one, you take a little bit of damage, maybe not. So this is Rajir, the guy who helped us with Margaret earlier, and he's also a Tarnished. I told him I'm here to defeat Godric, which is the lead boss, and he's like, well, I have some battle arts I know. Do you want to learn some? So if I choose these are all Ash of Wars you can apply to weapons, and if you apply a magic Ash of War to a weapon, then your weapon will do magic damage, which is great if the enemy is susceptible to magic damage, and not so great if they're resistant to it. So if you wanted any of those, there they are. Like this one's kind of cool. This one, if it's a bleed weapon, that might be kind of cool. And Glintstone Pebble on a weapon is kind of bad. The actual spell Glintstone Pebble is awesome, but the Ash of War, not so much. But I'm not gonna buy any of that stuff. You'll see guys out there. There's nothing out there item-wise. You don't need to go there. It's just a little nook. Here's the guys I was talking about. If you take the ladder down, these are the guys you'd have to watch out for. Hi. I'm gonna do a supercharge. Nice, you walked into it. He hit me a little bit, but that's fine. It's called trading. You ever hear somebody saying trading or trading blows? It means that you're intentionally doing an attack knowing that you might get hit, but your damage is going to do way more than their damage, so it's worth it. So you just trade attacks. Chest in here gives you a mimic veil. Fun little item. If you put on the mimic veil, it will make you look like a random object from your surroundings. And if you don't like the object it gives you, you just put it on again. But this is good against PvP hiding. Like, I think they can still see where you are on the map, but you don't have a nameplate. Like, I just look like a knight. But it doesn't do anything for NPCs. In fact, I don't even know what happens. If I approach him like this, does he know? We're gonna science this right now. Apparently I don't recall ever doing this. Hey, turn around. Hello. All right, now I'll turn around. There we go. Hey. Yeah, okay, so he knows. So yeah, mimic veil is just for fun, or you can strategically disguise yourself, wait for the PvP person to come close, and then jump attack. That's what me and my dad do while we're waiting for a hunter to come help us kill it. We'll run off somewhere and disguise ourselves, and if the hunter hasn't already been there to help kill it, we'll ambush the invader. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so there's an item and a dude in here. Boom. Grab this item and this item. And I could have just jumped over the jumped over the rails, but I'm going back this way because there's an item I'm gonna grab anyway, right here. So this is one of those, oh my goodness, I've forgotten your name. But I said the name, Sentinel. I said the name at the beginning yesterday. It's one of those, so if you kill this, it does stay dead. Ow, I'm doing horribly, wow. Let me pay attention a little more. Oh, let's do giant hunt. Watch this. Ew, 900 damage. You did. I mean, it was almost dead anyway, but that's a good, that's a good amount of damage for how quickly that move goes off. This elevator leads back to the Grace we were on, so that unlocks that shortcut. So that's why I'm sending it up. Another reason I'm sending it up is I have bad luck sometimes fighting dogs. Like, dogs will kill you a lot. Dogs, birds, and rats are the worst enemies in this game. So instead of fighting them, I just do this. Where's the other one? I don't think the other one followed. Did they retrain you guys? Maybe it already fell and I wasn't paying attention. There's the, oh, by the way, that's where the Crimson Hood is. If she's not already at the round table, instead of this being a Crimson Hood, it'll be some item. And if you bring it back to her, she gives you a golden seed. If she's already in the round table though, then instead it's her red hood here, and her golden seed is where you first found her at the Stormhill Shack. So I need to remember to teleport to the Stormhill Shack and get that seed at some point. Ideally, I guess, after I'm done with this castle. All right. So these types of doors require the stone sword keys. If you've got one, it'll put it in there. If you don't got one, your person will like check their pocket and then be confused because you don't have one. But the item that I really want in here that's good for the strength build people is this iron wet blade. The wet blades, and I don't think I explained this when I picked up the first wet blade yesterday, they are what lets you apply Ash of Wars when you're at a Grace. And there are different wet blades to apply different, what do they call that? Affinities, I think is what they call it. And so if I put a heavy affinity with my Ash of War on this weapon, it will scale better to my strength stat. And all scaling means is that the higher that stat is, the more effective the weapon's gonna be. So if you're doing a quality build, which is strength and dexterity, and you find a weapon that's got B and B for strength and dexterity scaling, but then you find one that's got 2 A's, the one with the 2 A's will get a bigger damage buff from your stats. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better than the other weapon, because there's a lot of factors that go into that, but that's what that means. Again, I'm just kind of like touching things and running by and, you know, giving as much confusion as I can and overwhelmingness that you may or may not be feeling. If you need anything clarified, Wiki's a great resource, or you can ask me in the comments and I can explain it better or do a video or something. So again, I'm not touching these, but you would want to touch these if you want to be summoned from them or for future co-op stuff. And co-op is based on your level and your weapon level. So if you're a really high level and your weapons are really high level, or vice versa, you're really low level, you may not see as many people to summon. Like I wouldn't probably see too many people right now because I ran around and leveled up a bunch of stuff. All right, if I wear her hood, I'm still medium, and it's kind of cute, so I'll just do that. I leveled up my endurance some to see if I could put on one of those other helmets and stay medium, but I could not. So over here, a lot of pot people. There's a big pot person in the back that comes out. And you can, you know, break all of them and get experience points and all that good stuff. I'm just gonna grab the items and run. This is a secret path that a lot of people don't know about. You gotta jump up here, and then you jump over here, and you go this way. And this leads to the area where I was looking down and said, see those shinies? Take note that that's a place you can go. This is how you get there. There's also a locked door, or it says it can't be opened from this side at the Grace I teleported to last. This is how you open that door. In here, bunch of basic enemies, but there's only one item, so I just grab the item and then leave because they're not really worth it. Then you go down here. And there's an item over here. You have to jump up on the ledge, jump, and then move forward just a pinch. If you hold forward while jumping, you'll probably jump over and die. Which would be a shame because here's the door that leads back to the Grace. See? So now if I die, I can go to that Grace. I just walk through this door and I'm back. So if you're not confident in your jumping skills there, come over here, open the door, and then go back and try it. I'm pretty sure that's an Arteria leaf. Yep. Do I have anything where I can actually use that? This. Exalted Flesh. Boosts your physical attack. Okay, I mean, I guess that's cool in theory, maybe. See, I don't use consumables, so I really don't know what most of this stuff does. And using consumables and knowing what they do is not a bad thing by any means. Like, there's this one boss that's really annoying, but they're very susceptible to sleep. So you can just put them to sleep and beat them up until they wake up, and then when they wake up, you just put them to sleep again. Super handy. But I'd rather learn the attack patterns and just fight them with what I got. But that's me. Also, there's less things to remember. I don't have to remember this boss is susceptible to this element or this ailment or da 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 da. I'm just beating them up until they die. Small brain moves, maybe? I don't know. The first time I beat this game, I used magic. I was an astrologer. But once you learn all the attack patterns and stuff, melee's fun. So this guy's down here, not a boss. Not even a mini boss. They just have a health bar. If you kill it, you get a golden seed. So I'm going to kill it. But if you can't kill it, you can grab all these shinies and just run. There's a ladder. Oh no! Dang it. I missed my critical hit, but I also basically killed it right there. So it doesn't matter. So there's my golden seed. So alternatively, if you aren't ready to fight that thing, grab those shinies, grab this shiny, go up the ladder. That ladder is one of the tallest ladders in the game. In other words, it takes the most time to climb it. And there's not like a special item at the top. So unless you're in co-op and you can't teleport, unless you're using the mod, because you can teleport in that mod I was talking about earlier, don't use the ladder if you can help it. I kill the thing and then I just teleport. This is the big boss for this area, Godric, but there's one more place that we haven't gone to that I'm gonna do now. That's kind of important. If you charged hits on their legs, they just crumble. And this stuff is all dying pretty easily because my weapon's plus 12. Normally when you come here, your weapon might be like plus 2 to plus 4. But because I, you know, ran ahead and grabbed all that stuff and got my weapon leveled up, these are a lot easier to kill.
Be proud.
All right, so this is an important NPC. Her name is Nephili Lu, and she's basically just telling you she's here to take out Godric, and if you go to fight Godric, please call on me. Which I'm going to. You wouldn't be able to summon her for this fight if you didn't talk to her here and exhaust all of her dialogue. So remember, talk to people until they repeat themselves. What are you doing, bird? I don't know, but I'm gonna take you out. Please die! Dang it. Please die! Woo. It's trying to breathe fire on me. Did you see that? So there's a guy and an item over here. I don't remember what this item is. This may not even be like worth getting, especially if you're bad at fighting the birds. Yeah. And then that shiny thing in the statue has extra smithing stones in it. You get the giant from way over here to chase you and swing at you while you're near it to break that open and get those items, unless you're playing with that mod. If you're playing with that mod, you can smack it and it opens up to give you whatever items are inside. Well, that might be a different mod. I play with two mods. I play with a randomizer and then the seamless co-op, and the randomizer does exactly what it sounds like. It randomizes all the enemies and items and stuffs where they drop, so every time I play the game, it's like a different playthrough. And so I don't know if it's the seamless co-op mod that lets you break that, or if it's the randomizer mod that lets you break that. Because obviously in a randomizer, you're not guaranteed to get a giant to bust that thing open. Okay, this is fine. Actually, you know what? I am gonna do one change. On the Wondrous Physic, instead of giving me half my health, I'm gonna do this enhanced charge attack, because I've got a decent potion supply. So here's her. Now that we talked to her, we've got the sign. It opened up. I have the sign. Never gonna give you up. And if you don't get that song reference, you may not be old enough. Not that younger people don't know older songs, but
Mighty dragon,
Ace of Base isn't exactly
thou the true born heir.
at the top of teenagers' charts right now.
Strength, O kindred, deliver me unto greater heights.
So this is Godric. He has lots of appendages because he grafts himself. See all these arms? He's got like 12 arms. And his legs are big.
I command thee, kneel.
I'm not gonna kneel.
I am the lord of all that is golden.
I'll give you something golden. If you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, don't ask. Well, unless you're an adult. It's inappropriate. It's implied adult humor. So don't go ask a parent or guardian. So it's me, definitely. I summon my jellyfish. Jellyfish will eventually poison Godric. So they're pretty useful for this fight. I'm also going to use my giant hunt, but whoops, gotta get out of the wind. My giant hunt does a lot of damage. Also does a lot of poise damage. Alright, so this is stage 2. When his health gets down to half, this happens. Unless you or your friends or people you're playing with have really strong weapons, you can actually kill him before this cutscene even triggers. I don't typically get myself that strong.
Truest of dragons, lend me thy strength.
Because there's a lot of what they call broken builds in this game, meaning you can beat the bosses very easily because the build is so effective. I have used those in the past if I got stuck for a really long time, but now I just use whatever weapon I enjoy using and they die however fast they're gonna die. Now he's gonna do these 3 times to 3. Whoops, I jumped too soon. So, ow. I'm gonna go giant hunt him a bunch of times until he dies. Oh, he's poisoned.
I am the Lord of
And he's dead.
all that is.
Kind of anticlimactic, but that's because I'm at plus 12
We'll return together
and I know what I'm doing.
to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
Like, it's taking him longer to talk about what's gonna happen after I killed him than actually defeating him in that second half. Great runes. It tells you about great runes. So when you defeat major bosses, they drop a great rune, and then if you go to their related tower, you can activate that great rune, and it will give you different bonuses. So Godric's bonus is pretty awesome. It like raises all of your stats. I think +5, maybe even +10. I don't know. 10 sounds like too much, but if you go and get Godric's Great Rune activated, which I will show you. I'm just opening this door because there's nothing else in here since I already went around. This leads to back here. But this grace here on the tower bridge, this leads to his tower, which is why it's called Tower Bridge, I guess. So we'll do that. Also, if you want a pretty early colossal weapon that's actually like pretty fun to use, it's not a colossal sword, you can kill this dude over and over and eventually it'll drop its halberd. It's a low chance, so you know, if you have good luck it could drop immediately, and if you don't it could be a while. That's just RNG. If you've ever heard somebody say, oh, I got bad RNG, it stands for random number generator. Basically, it's just speak for the way a game calculates whether or not you get something. It applies to loot, basically. If you've ever played a game where you have a 1% chance of something dropping, you're relying on that random number generator to hit the number that falls in the 1%. And if you already knew what RNG was or didn't care what it was, I'm sorry, I just wasted like 20 to 30 seconds of your time. But again, I feel like if you've made it this far watching me, you and I are okay. Because it's real easy to find out whether or not I'm going to be annoying to you. I would think. So. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe you closed the stream and you're not even hearing the part that I'm saying right now. So I'm just talking to the people that stayed. And they're like, why are you talking about the people that left? And I'm like, I don't know. Why are you talking about the people that are here? How do you even know which people are here? It's YouTube. You just watch the video. You don't watch it together or something. Unless you like streamed it to your friends and then I overthink 6,000 different possibilities. I'm going to shut up now. So anyway, this is the tower. This is where you activate the Grim Rune, Great Rune. All the major bosses have their own towers. So you have to find them. They're not always directly connected to their area. But this one happens to be right off of the castle. And there's no enemies in here. That door will not open unless you've beaten the boss associated with the tower. It'll just say it's tightly closed or whatever. But they all look the same, pretty much. Take this giant elevator to the top. There's a grace in case for some reason you need to teleport here. I don't know why you would. And then you can activate the rune. Like the first time I did this, I was like, you're giving me a grace. Is this gonna be a boss fight? Because it looks very boss fighty. And yes, I said fighty, fight -y. But no, nothing up here except for this. You restore the power of the Great Rune. Ta-da! And now I can equip that Great Rune, which maybe that's why this grace is here, but I could literally touch any grace and do this. So I don't know. But I'm gonna do it here since it's here. So you go down here to Great Runes. Tells you about Great Runes. Equip Godric. It says raises all attributes, but doesn't tell you how much. So let's see what I got. Like I've got 30 vigor right now. The way you activate a Great Rune is with rune arcs. I only have one right now. And rune arcs stay active until you die. You can teleport and they'll stay with you. If you die is when it goes away. And now I have 35. So yeah, it raises all your stats by +5. Which is important to remember because if you get summoned, you don't have this Great Rune active. So make sure you watch your weight and your requirements for the weapons you're using. Like if a weapon requires 20 strength and you have 15 and you're using this rune to get to 20, you should level up to 20 and with this rune have 25 so that if you get summoned somewhere, you don't lose the ability to use your weapon or spell or whatever it is. I found that out because I was like, wow, I can carry all this stuff I didn't think I could carry. And then I got summoned into somebody's world and I was like, why am I fat rolling? Oh, that's why. Annoying bird. Doesn't have swords on its feet. So slightly less annoying, but still annoying. Same moveset. Does the same thing. I don't remember what this item is. I don't even remember if this is worth getting. I just remembered, excuse me, that there was an item down here. Silver pickled foulfoot. Not really. I mean, that's not bad. The silver pickled foulfoot increases your chance of, it increases your discovery stat, which just means that there's a higher chance enemies will drop loot when you kill them. So, like if you're farming for that halberd that I just mentioned, you know what? I'm just gonna kill you and then teleport out of here. Come here. Really? There we go. You, come. Giant hunt. Dang it. Giant hunt? Nope. Giant hunt. Hey, there we go. You would use that before you started farming, and those do go away if you teleport. So don't like fight the golem and then see if you can teleport back. You probably can't because the archer back here shoots at you. But even if you could, don't teleport. You lose the consumable boost. BT dubs. And if you don't know what that means, it's BTW, by the way. It's probably a dumb way of saying it in some people's opinion. I don't know. I say and do what I like for the most part. And then other people decide whether or not that's appealing. I guess. Alright. I didn't have to run through here. I could have teleported to that grace I already activated and just came backwards. But this is the only thing that's over here. These ghost things, they say some stuff, and I think sometimes they give you a hint, but they don't really seem to do much most of the time. So I'm not saying don't talk to them, but if you didn't talk to them, most of the time you're not missing out on much. But the thing they just gave me, the Shabriri grape, you give it to Hyetta, which is normally here, but she doesn't show up unless we go down here and talk to a person. So, yeah. I don't want these to be like super duper long. We're at 2 hours for this one, which is already kind of long. But I mean, I guess you can always pause and resume and fast forward. Or I can break it. I don't know. I'm watching somebody do their first playthrough, and some of her videos are like 5 or 6 hours long, and I'm like, that's fine. I just pause it and come back. Oh, I can buy all these now. These pots you need to make some throwable items, so I bought those. This is your first light source. If I didn't wait to get the lantern, you could buy the torch, but you have to hold it in your left hand, which means you can only use one hand for your weapon. So if you're using a weapon that you can't use one-handed, you have to use two-handed, then you can't use the torch.
Goodbye.
And yes, that might be me stating the obvious again, but depending on your level of understanding with all the things I'm doing and saying, that might have been helpful information. By the way, I just asked Kale about the howling, which was that wolf dude I showed you earlier. Hello, there we go. He teaches you a gesture so that you can be introduced to blood. And that's what I'm gonna go do right now. Let's see, point, no, I want, and I'm holding the move button in the background right now in case you're wondering. There's not like an auto run or anything. Eventually, if you practice, you can move and open your menus and change things all at the same time, which is what a lot of PvP people do. Like, they have this weapon and then they're like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna hit you with this weapon, and they switch and start fighting you with something else. That's how they do it. Because even though you can equip up to 3 items per hand, depending on what you're equipping, is like way too heavy to really make it feasible. All right, so I snapped, he jumped down, I forget, over here? Blood. I forgot where you jumped down. There you are. So we talked to him.
Who goes there? Carly sent you, did he? The name's Blood. He fled. So
I'm Blood. I'm looking for Darrowil.
And in need of a...
There's a really good chance, depending on how you've been playing the game, that you've already found and defeated this dude. And so if you have, and you keep talking to him, I think he's like, oh, you already took care of it. Okay. Or something. I don't know. I can't remember what he says. Or he may not even be here at all. He may have moved on to his next spawn point. Because he has a quest line. I am going the wrong way. I even put down a marker and I went the wrong way. That's how good I am at not going where I'm supposed to be going. Like, I know this is an issue I have, which is why I use the markers. But if you don't use the markers, it's an ADHD problem. Or at least it seems like it is for a lot of people that have ADHD. You can set a reminder, but then if you forget to see the reminder, or the reminder comes up and you're not ready for it and you dismiss it and it's not set to remind you again, it's gone. It's not going to happen. But anyway, what I was saying, depending on how you play, this is where that Darrowil dude is. And since this is really close to the lady we need to talk to, that makes this lady over here show up to give her the thing, the Shabriri grapes, we'll go ahead and knock out multiple things over here. So maybe this isn't as straight and direct as I said, because I am doing things. I don't know. I didn't label it as a direct playthrough. I just said playthrough 1. In the description, I might have said it's kind of straightforward. I don't know. I can always edit those descriptions. So this is a NPC invader. NPC non-playable character, aka a bot. And this is the start of Yura's mission line. At least I think his name is Yura. This guy hurts a lot. He's got 2 bleed daggers, and that move right there also causes bleed, and bleed's really strong. So depending on what level you are, when you fight this dude, it might suck and you might die a lot. There we go. Bloody Finger Yura. So there's Yura. So if this guy is hurting you a lot, just survive long enough for Yura to show up, and then run to Yura, and then it's 2 versus 1. Usually he can kill it by himself, but Yura sometimes does die. So I don't rely on that. I just get in there and help him do damage. And those daggers he was carrying, you get 1 of them as a prize. That is probably the best bleed weapon that you can get in early game. So if you want to do a bleed build, this is where you get it. And you would have to level up your arcane a little bit to equip it.
You stay the path. Just remember,
Because that's actually a really cool weapon.
Stay clear, and it's so stay clear.
Even if you used it for the entire game. So there's Yura, came here, I talked to him till he repeated himself. He will now move on to a second location. But we're gonna do that later, because right now we're doing Blad's thing. Oh, there's also an important dude in here. Do I want to do that right now? I guess I'm here, I'll do it. If you've played the previous games, patches, which I honestly don't remember, even though I played the previous games. But my memory's not the greatest. But he's in here. And he's got some stuff. He also has a quest line, assuming you don't kill him. I mean, that applies for all NPCs, but the reason I say that specifically for him is because he fights you when you first meet him. But he'll stop fighting you when he's down to about half health, and that's when you're supposed to stop fighting him if you want to do his quest. If you kill him, you get a +7 spear, which is kind of cool if you want that spear. But it's better if you don't kill him. I gotta make sure I don't do anything too strong. There we go.
I surrender. White flag and all.
Oh, by the way, the +7 spear, if you aren't planning on using it, don't get it. I mean, don't kill him. Like, even if you want it, kill him later when you have your own weapon to +7. Because, as I discussed earlier, the matchmaking for co-op is based off of your level and your weapon's level. And it's based off of the highest weapon you've ever had. And so as soon as you get the spear from him, the game's like, oh, your best weapon is +7. And if you're still doing quests in this first section, it might be a lot harder to group up with random people because most people don't have a +7 weapon in Limgrave. There's also a +8 weapon you get at the round table after you defeat Godric that I would avoid getting again until you are ready to have a +8 weapon that you enjoy. That's something I didn't know until much later. Alright, I'm gonna go through here again because now Patches will have a little shop set up. Also, these guys have a chest at the end of the cave. I don't remember what's in the chest. I don't think it's like amazing, but I'm gonna grab it because I know it's there. Mushrooms ×5. Those go in the sleep potion, so if you wanted to do the sleep potion thing for the annoying boss that I didn't tell you who it was yet, that's good. But there's also mushrooms in the wild, so it's kind of eh. So hi, Patches Emporium, blah blah blah. About the bandits, yeah, they're good. And then you ask him about the chest, and he's like, oh, that's special for a valuable customer. It's not. I'm gonna buy this. It's useful for a boss fight. And I'll buy this.
Cheers for that.
But if you open this chest, it's a transporter trap. But even if you didn't open it, eventually, if you come to visit him, he'll be like, you know what? You've been such a good customer. I want you to have that chest.
I should have known.
And then this happens anyway. But
The gods demand vengeance.
he wouldn't call you a scheming little thief. He would just laugh. But the same trap happens. Apparently that's what Patches does. It kind of messes you over to the point where it's irritating, but maybe not to the point that you want to kill them. And so I guess that's why it's a repeating character, because people probably enjoy that. I actually look forward to playing my way through the other Souls games and then, you know, finding patches and finding stuff that links, like, between them. Like, there's a sword called the Moonlight Great Sword that's in all the games. So that's kind of cool. But the way the teleporter traps work, teleports you somewhere random in this place. In this case, it was somewhere we've been. You can't fast travel because you've been trapped until you rest at another grace. So I could have either gone here to rest or here to rest or over here, you know, wherever. But at the bottom of this elevator is a grace. And I haven't been here with this character yet anyway. So I'm just getting two things knocked out at once. I'm gonna rest at this grace, it'll get rid of my trap, and then I can teleport back to Patch's cave and go about my business. It's a super long elevator ride, so you can like go get drinks and snacks and such if you wanted to while it's going. And you have to rest at it, you can't just touch it. So, rest. And right now I don't have an underground map, but it tells you at the bottom, it says show above ground, show underground. And then I can teleport. So we're still going to do Blood's quest. I don't even know if it tells you about the underground until you've actually officially gone underground. I guess I should check that. Alrighty. I'm not gonna go talk to Patches. He makes up some excuse or whatever and says some things. But ultimately, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't affect your ability to finish his quest line. We'll probably do this thing for Blood, and then I'll stop. So it's not super duper long, plus all this talking can wear you out. I'm not used to talking this much, but it's just because I'm trying to fill in the silence. On stream, I'm used to it, more or less. And I also have music playing when I'm on stream. Can't do that on YouTube because you get flagged for copyright. But on Twitch, there's a way to listen to music so it doesn't get pushed through to your recording or clips, and then you don't get in trouble. So I can listen to whatever I want when I live stream. Ow! Jerk! Jerks! All your jerks. Look. All I want is the chest. And you guys can live. So it won't let you get the chest unless you stop the chariot. So smack one of the giants and it will stop. You don't even have to kill them. Just get it to stop. This is a great axe. If you want to try out great axes, that is a actually pretty good great axe. Like, you could use that for the entire game. So I'm gonna clear out this little mini boss here because it unlocks a couple of things. It unlocks a grace, and it also unlocks an NPC that we'll need later on for story stuff. Mad Pumpkinhead. Way easier to kill when you're level 40 with a plus 12 weapon. And you summon 3 wolves to help. So this is Selen. She does sorcery, and if you tell her that you want to learn, she tells you that she was exiled. Are you sure you still want to learn from me? And you say yes, then you can learn these spells. And if I wanted to, I could give her scrolls to learn more spells, but as I mentioned before, there's an NPC that does both and never moves. That's better for that. But it doesn't hurt anything. If you give her the sorcery things and you give Corwin back at the round table your faith things, as long as you buy them before that person like disappears, then you're fine. Not that they disappear permanently, just they go somewhere else and you may not know where they are unless you looked it up. The dude I'm talking about, by the way, if you do want to go there sooner than later, is here. So, northeastern Liurnia. The way you get there is you either go down the little tombstones right here and follow this all the way over, or you get down here into the water and then you can go down, around, and over. Or last but not least, you can go all the way to here and around and over. So, multiple ways to get there, but it's the giant tortoise or turtle. No, tortoise. Wearing a Pope hat. And he can teach you both sorcery and incantations, and that's who I give all my scrolls and books to. All right, so we're still doing Vlad's mission, but there's a shiny over here that gives you the Unsheath Ash of War, which is a lot of fun and really good for katanas. So I'm gonna grab that while I'm here and try not to get killed by the crab. And then there's also a shiny here. I don't remember what it is. Crab eggs, cool. Don't know what that's used for because I don't do crafting, but sliver of meat, crafting. And then there's a grace right here. And this grace is closest to where we have to go to kill the dude that Blad wanted us to find. And there's the I think that's America, I don't know. Armless lady statue is the checkpoint thingy. And see, this is pronounced Everjail. I was like Evergale? I didn't know, but apparently Everjail. And I was like, that makes sense because this is basically a prison for these people. So if you talk to Blad and get his request, you can actually summon him for the fight, and he can pretty much kill this thing by himself. It's not a super easy fight until you learn the mechanics. You will die a lot if you do it by yourself, but it's a really fun fight. This is the only time you can ever summon in here also, because typically Everjail is 1 versus 1 and that's it. You can't summon your ashes, and you can't have your co-op partner come with you unless you're using the mod. So here's the dude. So we're gonna kill him really fast. It's gonna make this fight trivial, but I promise you, this guy moves fast, attacks fast, zips across the level. Like, it's a really fun fight if you do it by yourself. I'm just gonna summon Blad though, because he's there, and I've already beaten that dude. And you'll run into more of those. They're called Bloodhound Knights. You'll run into more of those just out in the world and in dungeons and stuff. So
if you venture, tell him I sit and be sure.
if you feel like you robbed yourself of a fight because you used Blad, don't worry. You'll run into more of them. All right. So I'm gonna head south to that other continent. And there's a grace over there, and that's a good place to stop. There is stuff up here on the left that you can get that's useful. I'm not gonna grab it for now, but I think there's like a scroll up there to teach you more stuff. There's a turret on this bridge, so be careful when you approach. I get over here as speedily as I can so that I can just take care of it. Also, if you have a weapon that swings above people a lot, if you unlock and just look at the ground, it's more consistent. Like if they're little guys. Because if I lock onto a little guy and then hit my R1 to do this move, it'll go over their heads so many times. So the solution is just to not lock on and look down a little bit. In fact, there's an option that I don't think I've ever used. Manual attack aiming. It says allows for manual control of aiming of large weapons when locked on. So that sounds like it's the best of both worlds. And I've never done it, actually. So we'll science that real quick. Let me touch this. And then we'll science it, and then I'm hopping off. So if you don't care about this science, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in part 3. Otherwise, I'm gonna science this real quick. Okay, so I lock on. I'm not seeing how to do the manual control. Oh, is it just with like charge hits? No? Okay, so if I lock on, there's a button press I'm missing. You don't see me. If you do see me, it'll knock me out of my menu. Reset camera, lock on, remove target, move camera, change target, crouch, stand up. So yeah, I don't know how to do that. So that would be something to internet search. Because I'm like trying to hold my analog sticks like in the opposite direction of the lock-on while swinging, and it's not. What if I do this? Nope. Or maybe it's like large projectile weapons, like, because you can get some pretty hefty crossbows. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out and let you know. Bye. Remember to do all the things for YouTube. Thanks.